Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into a piece of ancient source material that honestly reads like a modern drama. I mean, we're talking serious family dysfunction, stolen money, and what's basically the ultimate attempt at do-it-yourself religion. It's the story of a guy named Micah. And what's so fascinating here is how it gives us this incredible window into human psychology, and really, the lengths people will go to just to justify their own actions. Let's look at exactly how a totally customized belief system gets built right from the ground up.
Okay, let's jump right in with the catalyst of our story. We open in Mount Ephraim, and right out of the gate, we're hit with a major family conflict centered around a very specific number, 1,100. A man named Micah has stolen exactly 1,100 shekels of silver. But what makes this theft so wild is the victim. He didn't just rob a stranger or some local merchant. No, Micah stole this massive sum of silver directly from his very own mother.
Now, the mother's reaction and Micah's response to that reaction is where this text gets really interesting. Just look at her wildly swinging emotions here. At first, she is absolutely furious. The text tells us she's actively cursing the thief, and she's speaking these curses right in Micah's ears, completely unaware that her own son was the culprit. Well, the guilt clearly gets to him because he abruptly confesses saying, "Behold, the silver is with me, I took it." And how does she respond when she finds out her son is the thief? She literally drops the curse and immediately pivots to a blessing, saying, "Blessed be thou of the Lord, my son." It's just a staggering flip-flop. The sheer irony of human behavior here is incredible. The second the money is returned, the crime is totally glossed over with a religious blessing.
But honestly, the mother's mental gymnastics don't stop there. Once she gets the 1,100 shekels back, she makes this super profound declaration. She says, "I had wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord from my hand for my son." Now that sounds incredibly pious, right? But look at the end of her sentence, "to make a graven image and a molten image." She's claiming she dedicated the silver to the Lord, but her specific stated intention is to create forbidden idols. It's the ultimate contradiction. She's using the language of Orthodox faith to directly violate its most fundamental rules.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core theme of our explainer today. The text gives us this vital piece of context for exactly why everyone in the story is acting so bizarrely. It says, "In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes." This is the cultural backdrop for the entire narrative. We're looking at a time of total moral ambiguity. There's no central authority, no standard being enforced. And because of that, people like Micah and his mother are completely free to justify their own contradictory actions. They just blend genuine religious terms with outright idolatry whenever it suits them. Part 1. Building the Shrine. Let's see exactly how Micah and his mother established their very own rogue religious center.
So, we can actually map out this DIY religion in a clear 5-step progression based on the text. Step 1. Micah restores the money. But interestingly, the mother only gives 200 of those 1,100 silver shekels to the founder. It seems she happily pocketed the rest of her wholly dedicated silver. Step 2. The founder melts down those 200 shekels and crafts the graven and molten images. Step 3. Micah places these idols in his home, effectively establishing his own personal house of gods. Step 4. He takes it a step further by manufacturing an ephod and teraphim. Those are traditional items used for seeking divine guidance. And finally, Step 5. Lacking a legitimate clergyman, Micah simply consecrates one of his own sons to be the priest. Just like that, he has completely bypassed the established religious order to create a convenient, homemade shrine.
Part 2. The Wandering Levite arrives. So right into this chaotic domestic scene walks a crucial new character. The source material describes him as a young man from Bethlehem, Judah. Crucially, we learn he's a Levite. Now, traditionally, the Levites were the designated priestly class. They're tasked with religious duties for the community. But this young Levite, he's detached. He's departed his city and is sojourning. He's essentially wandering around looking for a place to stay and a way to make a living. And as he journeys through Mount Ephraim, he just happens upon the house of Micah. When the two men cross paths, Micah kicks off the conversation with a simple question. "Whence comest thou?" Basically, where are you coming from? The traveler explains that he's a Levite looking for a place to stay, and Micah immediately recognizes an opportunity. What unfolds next feels almost like an ancient gig economy negotiation. Micah sees a perfect chance to legitimize his rogue shrine.
Now take a look at the exact compensation package Micah offers him. This is a highly transactional job offer. Micah wants to hire this wandering Levite to be his personal priest, essentially asking him to be a father and a spiritual guide. Look at the breakdown here. He offers a base salary of 10 shekels of silver per year, a signing bonus consisting of a suit of apparel, and full benefits in the form of daily victuals or food. Micah is quite literally trying to buy religious legitimacy.
And how does the Levite respond to this rather unorthodox proposal? Well, the text is perfectly clear. The Levite was content to dwell with the man. He happily accepts the compensation package. He moves into the house, takes the job, and the text even notes that he became to Micah as one of his sons. He needed a place, Micah needed a priest. A mutually beneficial, entirely transactional relationship is born.
To formalize this new arrangement, Micah takes official action. The text says Micah consecrated the Levite. This means he officially declares him as sacred and dedicated to religious service. So Micah effectively fires his own son from the role of priest, replacing him with this newly hired professional. He really believes that by having an actual Levite on the payroll, his completely self-made religion has just received a massive upgrade in authenticity.
Part 3. A false sense of security. This entire sequence of events leads us right to the psychological payoff Micah experiences. He's fully staffed his personal house of gods, and he's feeling incredibly confident about his standing. The crucial point is summarized perfectly in his final thought here. He says, "Now know I that the Lord will do me good, seeing I have a Levite to my priest." Notice the intense irony. Micah has stolen from his mother, used silver that was cursed and then arbitrarily blessed, funded the creation of explicitly forbidden idols, built an unauthorized shrine, and essentially bribed a wandering Levite to be his personal clergyman. Yet his ultimate assumption is that because he checked a specific box, hiring a Levite, he has somehow guaranteed the Lord's favor. It's just a total masterpiece of self-deception. Which leaves us with this really powerful question to consider as we wrap up. In a scenario where every man does what is right in his own eyes, where rules are rewritten for convenience, sacred language justifies forbidden practices, and religious legitimacy costs 10 shekels a year, who is really being worshipped? Is Micah serving the divine, or has he simply built a shrine to his own preferences? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope it leaves you thinking about how easily we can construct our own realities.